It's now time to move gears towards Business World Business Class. The brilliant hostess here is a brilliant student herself, and her name is Miss Shweta Ramesh. Let's see Shwetaji's brilliance in this upcoming interview with Mr. Shiva, who is a brilliant personality himself. He is the CEO of Nasotech.
Hi, I'm Shweta Ramesh, host of Business World Business Class, where I interview entrepreneurs from across the United States. Today I have with me Mr. Shiva Tirumalasai, CEO of Nasotech. Thank you so much for being on the show with me.
Thank you, Samantha.
Welcome.
I'm very happy to be in the show.
Wonderful. So, how long have you been in the United States?
Close to 23 years.
Wow, 23 years.
Yes,
That's a long time. Lots of experiences, lots of things that have shaped your experiences in the United States now.
It's very good. Meaning I came here and in a startup company, so from East Coast to West Coast, back to East Coast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there is a lot of experience on that actually.
Okay.
So when I first came here, I came in a startup company, and then we sold it to Netscape.
Okay.
So that's our big start on that actually. So.
All right. So how did you get involved in the startup company? You know, what were the factors that kind of pushed you to become a part of the business world?
So for the startup company, the one of the areas is like I love technology and also like a visualization actually on the technology side.
Okay.
So all the products we have developed in the college and just after the college for a couple of years, we built products in India. And this company really loved it actually. So
okay. So is that why you were able to make that trip from India and come to the United States?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what was that experience like for you? You know, was that something that you knew you always wanted to do? You always wanted to come to the United States and keep pursuing this dream? Or was it something that kind of evolved as a result of the experiences you had?
One of the things which US is a land of opportunity, you know, like and also gives you like chances to try stuff, new things actually. And one of the areas I loved is the technology growth, you know, especially the access to technology and even showcasing stuff actually, which is very difficult in some of the like developing countries actually. So that was the major reason why I wanted to come to US actually, and especially I wanted to be in a startup company where its opportunity is much higher actually.
Yeah, you have more flexibility, you have more power, more control over your impact and what you want to do.
Correct, yeah. Very true. And going to Netscape, it's a Bay Area, you know, completely like a wild, completely different thinking. And Netscape, even though we joined, our company was acquired there, but they gave us an opportunity to create our own like upstart kind of mechanism. So we even won an award within like 6 months time frame actually.
Oh wow, congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome for our group to really showcase a product actually, you know, in that area. So that was amazing actually, amazing experience.
So now you work at Nasotech, correct?
Yes, yeah.
So what have you taken from that experience that you had at Netscape, and how has that evolved into the company that you have now and the success that you have now?
So one thing which I saw in the technology area is like, even though there are bigger companies, there are many big companies in the technology areas, but still the startup companies, the innovation you could do it in a startup company is much larger than a bigger company, mainly because they have to meet numbers, and where a startup company can take a chance and then try it out. If it works out, then the bigger company will buy you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
WhatsApp is a great example actually, you know, so that's the reason, mainly because startup gives you the fuel to grow actually. So.
So you were really just drawn to the flexibility and the innovation that startup culture allowed you to have.
Very true, yes, very true. And one of the things which we do in the startup is I always try to get fresh minds into the company. Being in the fresh minds, what helps is you get new ideas actually, you know. Sometimes like a 14-year-old guy will give you a much different idea than what you do thinking actually. So that helps a lot actually.
So innovation really has no age limits or any kind of boundaries.
Yeah, yes, very much. I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then one other opportunity for the startup, especially for our company, what we do is we always work on emerging technologies. Like, people ask me, why are you wearing this, this color,
Yeah,
watch?
very bright blue.
Yeah, one reason is I want people to notice it. Actually, the reason is this technology is going to change the world actually a lot more than
Wow.
what people think actually. So especially this alarms me every 2 hours saying, hey, you haven't stood up in 2 hours. You have to stand up actually.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting actually. That is going to make people be more active, more interactive actually. So. That's
So
the
this
idea.
wearable technology is a new hot market in which Nasotech is involved then?
Yes, very much, yeah, very much
Okay.
actually. We built a product called M-First actually is our platform, and we have like technologies which are like very basic. Our two verticals we focus on is healthcare and hospitality. That pretty much on the healthcare wearables is a bigger area actually, bigger market.
Okay.
So.
So I know that Nasotech is known for these cloud-enabled mobile solutions. So if you could tell us a little bit about what that means and what that means within the context of this wearable technology in these new emerging markets.
Sure. See, thank you. That's a very good area to discuss on. Is like, see, there are a lot of devices. If you have, almost everybody has a smartphone. But an independent smartphone is nothing but a simple display screen.
It's the connection.
But connection, it makes sense. So that's where we focused on. We focused on like a smartphone to iPad to like your wearable devices to IoT, any of those devices, even your like blood pressure monitor to diabetic monitors, and connecting them to cloud so that the physician can access to the data. And we have built a lot of telemedicine technologies, which is also based on this same technology actually. So it helps you to create and support all over the world actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like, see, a lot of people don't know about like a regular copper line. See, that's the interesting part where the newer technologies we are building, which will help that actually. So, and help that to growth. And we are expanding into Africa and other areas where the technology is like really in need of.
Yeah,
actually.
very necessary to solve the problems we have in the world today.
Correct, yes, very much, yes. And then there are basic, healthcare, like a snake bite. How do you handle it actually? Because we never been in front of snake.
I wouldn't know how to handle a snake bite at
all.
all.
Very true. And the challenge is like one of my friend actually, they went to an hospital locally here, and they had malaria.
Oh my gosh.
And they never tested for malaria. They did all the other testing, just not for malaria.
Wow.
Mainly, so that's where the cloud comes into picture. If they take all the symptoms and then apply, independent of who the physician is, the cloud will provide you information on this also to be a symptom of malaria. Did you guys check it? So that's the advantage actually. So
wonderful. So this is really the future of technology in healthcare, and this is really moving forward to reach such a broader base of people.
Correct, very true, yeah. And the affordability, earlier if you have to buy a laptop or a desktop and laptop monitor, everything for healthcare, it would cost you like say 10 grand actually for a stable one.
Very expensive, yeah.
Now if you, with the healthcare what we are providing, or many companies are providing on the tablet solutions, you can have a tablet in a community hall, and that could act as a healthcare solution actually, at least the primary stuff actually. Then you go into the specialist or a doctor and so on. So that's the advantage, right? Starting from your wearables to your like weighing machine to a lot of that stuff. So.
So Nasotech really has a very big social impact then in terms of what you guys are doing.
Correct, very true. Meaning in the social side, we have done a bunch of work on that actually, on the healthcare side, even in the hospitality side. If I am coming to US actually, especially when I came to US first time, I didn't know what a cheeseburger was. So I'm not a, that time I'm not a pure vegetarian, but I was vegetarian to the level I don't eat cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's something new, very
So-
different, very American, I guess you could say.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where that socially, it helps. So if somebody has a watch or a smartphone or whatever, when you come here, it kind of helps you to adapt to the area actually where you are and what kind of information you need. So we
That's
have provided
wonderful.
technologies around that actually. So
That's such an interesting perspective, you know. That's something you wouldn't think about necessarily with wearable technology, but it really helps like immigrants and people who are new to the United States really assimilate to their surroundings. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
yeah, and then the reverse also. So when you are from US, actually, you get used to like everything on time and available, and you go
Yes.
to like say India or any of the other countries. A lot of things are a challenge actually.
Yeah.
There was an incident where I was on a plane and I was getting almost about to get down to Chennai, and the next seat, the person asked me, "Hey, the marriage is I'm going for my son's marriage. The marriage is in Chennai, but the plane is landing in Madras. How do I
What?
go?" So these are like basic information, but it's a startling information. When you are traveling now like 10,000 miles, you want to know what is the correct thing there.
You want to know what's going on, have a basic sense of surroundings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are all the areas we try to help actually. Try to build the technology which will help the like people to get to know. And we focus on education also, some level on like on the healthcare. How do you get education on the healthcare and hospitality also? So,
So being this very socially conscious technology company, how has that informed your company culture, and how has that influenced the culture that exists within the people that work for Nasotech?
oh, they are very aware of that actually. That's the one
Wonderful.
thing. Yeah. So they understand. Meaning our mission is very clear, and then people kind of fall into that very nicely. So,
That's always good to have everybody know what the end goal is, everybody know what you're really working toward.
correct. Very
Yeah.
true. Yeah. So meaning that is the challenge. Like when the see. One of the things which we utilize is we utilize internship a lot more than other companies. One of the advantages of internship is you come into the company where you can do a failure actually. If you try it actually. If somebody comes to me and tells me I never failed, I will be surprised.
You
if
wouldn't
they'll ever
believe
be-
them, right? Yeah.
So that's a challenge actually. Meaning when you go as interns, you try out all kinds of stuff, things might fail, and then you learn something, and then you try out something new.
You take your knowledge and you take that failure and you don't let it define you, but you learn from it and you create something amazing, just
Yes,
like
very-
Nasotech.
Yeah,
Yes.
very, very true. Like WhatsApp, I always talk about WhatsApp, and then Oculus VR. It's amazing actually, how they started from something very, very basic when the industry was not there, and from there to be able to make a big difference actually.
Yeah.
So those are all like the small startup companies which makes when we developed, we were in Woodstock. My first one of the companies, first company I worked is in upstate New York, Woodstock. There was
wow.
no technology company around there.
Yeah, I bet.
We were the first people actually.
Wow.
So from there we sold it to Netscape and moved to an area where everything is technology.
Yeah,
So,
groundbreaking,
yeah,
really.
it's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So for these people, who are in these internships, what would be the advice that you would give them to get back from these failures, to rebound from these failures, and grow into something where you can take a small business that makes such a large impact around the world, really?
see, one thing what I tell most of my, that's a very, very valid question where I ask them, think about 5 years actually. What is that you want to do in 5 years? And so I always reset the date, or not reset, forward the date to the 5 year and ask them, if it is today is 5 year, what is that you want to be? And just go try actually, Sorry.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thank
being
you.
on the show.
Appreciate, yeah. And
I'm Sweta Ramesh. Tune in same time, same channel next month. Thank you very much and have a good night.